Good morning, Jackednnerdy fans. Jeremy here with another review video for the Retaliators. Now, before I jump into that review video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. That way you guys never miss out on a video. And if you do enjoy our content, please make sure you give it a thumbs up. That gets us motivated to keep doing what we're doing and just shows to us that you guys are enjoying the types of videos that we make. Now, with that out of the way, the Retaliators. Now, this is a pretty low-budget film that hasn't been getting a huge amount of press out in the normal general media. I don't know about you guys, but I've seen it blowing up in my Facebook feed over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So it just hit cinemas here in Australia. This is a very low budget kind of indie style horror/thriller movie. Basically depicts the story of a pastor whose daughter gets killed, and through the police officers or the detectives' investigation, he tracks down the killer and gives the father or the pastor an opportunity to have 1 minute alone with him before he is taken to jail or what have you. So it's very much a story of morality and the idea of if someone did do something towards you or a family member and you were given the opportunity to have 1 minute alone with that person to exact your revenge, what would you do? So interesting concept. Obviously not a new concept, but an interesting concept nonetheless. The thing that intrigued me the most was the cast list. Now, before I jump into the cast list, I also just will mention that this movie had 3 directors, Michael Lombardi, Bridget Smith, and Samuel Gonzalez Jr., which I don't know about you, but I've never seen a movie with 3 directors. This is the first time for me, so that's a bit interesting. But that being said, being a bit of a B-grade, low-budget horror movie, very much in the style of Grindhouse, if you're into those sorts of films like Planet Terror and Death Proof, this will be right up your alley. Now, the cast list has various actors and actresses. Spencer Charnas plays the Reverend or the priest. His daughter, Katie Kelly, she was very good throughout this. But the things that got me interested the most in this movie were these other cast members. Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. Jacoby Shaddix from Papa Roach, Ivan Moody from Five Finger Death Punch, and all the other band members from Five Finger Death Punch are all in this. So all high level metal rock and roll bands, all of these band members in this movie, which got me kind of interested. The other thing that really got me was the casting of Joseph Gatt. He has been in lots of different TV shows and movies over the years. One of which being Banshee, which he was fantastic in. He's a very interesting actor, very interesting look, and he's always done a really good job. So I really liked him. Sorry about that. Really, the casting itself is what got me interested in this movie more than anything. That being said, is this a good movie? That's a very tough question to ask because it is very much B grade, possibly even C grade. The acting in it was fine. There was no issue with the acting in it. The story, there was no issue with the story. I think it was the execution and in part the scripting. There were many side stories and extra things in this which actually had no impact on the overall story, didn't go anywhere, and really there were all these side stories that really you could have removed from them from the film entirely, and it wouldn't have had any sort of impact. I hate to say it, as much as I enjoyed watching the guys from Five Finger Death Punch on the screen, you could have removed them and their story from the movie entirely, and it wouldn't have had any overall impact. It wouldn't have changed it at all. So I think in terms of the overall story, was very lacking. And they could have whittled it down to just the very basic story of the pastor, his daughter, and the revenge story. Remove everything else, and it would have been just as good. So, is this a good movie? Yeah, it's alright. It's fun. It's entertaining. If you're just looking for a no-brainer, Grindhouse style, film that you don't have to, think about the story or delve deep into the psychology of it. If you're just looking for a good waste of an hour to an hour and a half, fine, no worries. It's a good film and you'll enjoy it. If you're going to this film wanting an in-depth, mind-twisting thriller, you're going to be sadly disappointed. This is not the movie for you. Sorry, I do apologise. I am getting over a bit of a cold at the moment, so don't hate me for that. So, as I said, look, is it a horrible film? No. Is it a great film? Definitely not so. Is it in the middle there? Absolutely. So, I mean, personally, I'll give it maybe a 5 out of 10. Do I regret spending the time watching it? No. Will I rush out and see it again? Not in any hurry. Maybe if it ever comes out on streaming, because it does have a R18 rating, so I don't know if it will head to streaming anytime soon. But if it does go to streaming, I might sit down with the wife and watch it one day, but apart from that, I'm not going to rush out and see it again, so it doesn't have a lot of rewatchability in that sense. So look, I'll just give it a very simple middle of the run, a 5 out of 10. As I said, was it great? No. Was it bad? No. It's in the middle there. So that's my non-spoiler review of the Retaliators. Look, as I said, if you're into Grindhouse style cinema of the low budget kind of bloodthirsty, violent kind of horror / thriller style, like Death Proof and Planet Terror, you will enjoy this. You will get a kick out of it. But if you're not into that style of cinema, then I would probably recommend that you give this a miss. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Is this something that you are interested in? Have you seen it? Did you enjoy it? Or is this something that you'll give a miss? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you do have any suggestions or recommendations on other upcoming films or TV series you would like to see me do a review of, hit me up in the comments with those suggestions as well. And we'll see what we can do to accommodate. So until next time, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.